So this is a quick update because as expected, the National Pediatric Readiness Project has developed an updated pediatric readiness assessment based on the new joint policy statement that was published just this month. If any of you had seen it, I think it was published in Annals of Emergency Medicine. So with that, a data collection period is planned and it's coming up. So we're going to talk about it quick. I, of course, forgot to take over the remote, so I'm going to do that now. So a few critical logistics to keep in mind as you plan your approach. Um, so this national assessment period, the official assessment window is opens March 3rd and runs through May 31st. All emergency departments in Michigan will be expected to complete the assessment during this period. The assessment is very similar to what you saw in 2021, with some updates to questions and scoring. So if your ED team has done this before, it's going to feel familiar. But there are going to be some new elements to be aware of. And then, oh, we're not going to go too much into the details on that right now, but over the next few slides, we'll walk through some of the logistics, and then also who to coordinate with, and then also how medic's going to be able to support you through this process. So some things to keep in mind, each hospital may only submit the official online assessment once during the March 3rd through May 31st window. So you want to make sure your answers are finalized before hitting the submit button. Um, it- if your health system has multiple distinct ED facilities, so for example, Children's Hospital of Michigan, Detroit, and Children's Hospital of Michigan, Troy. Each facility needs to complete its own separate assessment. So any physical space that functions as an emergency department that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, needs to complete its own separate assessment. Um, you can't just do one submission for your healthcare system. EMSC will be Emergency Medical Services for Children. I don't think I went through that acronym yet. We'll be sending a PDF of the assessment in advance. And that'll be helpful for your team so you can review the questions, prepare responses before going into the online system. So Sam Robleski, previously Sam Mishra, for any of you who are unfamiliar with her, she had a recent name change. So same Dr. Sam. She is Michigan's EMSC program coordinator. She will be sending the official invitation for assessment completion. She will send a pre-notice email on February 24th, followed by the formal invitation, which you'll get on March 3rd when the assessment window opens. Medic's going to be providing Sam with a list of contacts at each medic site to ensure we want to help ensure that the right people receive that formal invitation. You should have received an email from Katie this past week to complete a contact survey to designate whom you think at your site should receive the invite. So please complete that as soon as possible. That's really going to help minimize confusion and streamline the process. In terms of who can actually complete the survey, anyone on the ED team is eligible. Typically, this is the physician or nurse, pediatric emergency care coordinator or PAC, oftentimes the ED nurse manager, but it can be anyone with the appropriate knowledge of your department's capabilities and resources. This year, they are encouraging multidisciplinary input from trauma program managers and people who work with the trauma team. But they want that to be in a supportive role. They want the assessment responsibility to still be under the umbrella of the emergency department team. So once you submit the assessment, there are a few immediate steps to take, and these are time sensitive, so please note them carefully. So right after submission, you will have an opportunity to download a PDF of your gap report and your assessment answers. Do this immediately. Don't navigate away before downloading. A prompt's going to appear asking for an email address. This is the address you enter will receive the gap report, the answers that you submitted, and a re-access code. So kind of again, think ahead about which email makes the most sense to designate for your site. The re-access code is a new and I think very useful feature. It can be shared with others at your organization. So anyone with the code can log back in and review the gap report. Previously, you had to request this through the state. So I think this is a really meaningful improvement. And then finally, we are asking that our medic site share a copy of your post-assessment gap report by emailing it to Katie. Medic just plans to use this to support your ongoing improvement work in the pediatric readiness space. Again, to help support you through this, Medic's going to be hosting a series of office hours throughout the assessment period to give your team a space to ask questions, talk through challenges, and just get general support. We have 3 sessions scheduled, Tuesday, March 10th at noon, Wednesday, March 11th at 10 a.m., and Wednesday, April 22nd at 1 p.m. Um, it- we strategically kind of space those throughout the period of assessment, the assessment period. So we will be sending around a sign up link. Share it with broadly with anyone from your site who has questions about the assessment or who might benefit from connecting with peers at other sites going through the same process. You can attend one, you can attend all 3. The sessions are informal and meant to be helpful, so don't hesitate to encourage colleagues to join, even if they just want to listen in. And so this slide is particularly relevant for sites participating in the MEDIC pediatric readiness measure as part of P4P. So for sites in the 2026 P4P year, we can schedule a follow-up Zoom call during the assessment period to kind of crosswalk your answers from the 2021 version and help you feel prepared for the updated 2026 version. Your 2026 national assessment submission can count as your post-intervention assessment, or you also may choose to use the 2021 version for your post-assessment score for medic purposes. We will basically work with you to make sure, or yeah, to basically determine what makes the most sense for your site. And then for sites in the 2027 to 28 P4P year, you may use your assessment that the 2026 assessment responses as your baseline assessment for your participation year. The medic team, we are still going to schedule an in-person meeting with your team to verify answers because verification is required for our incentive program. But the bottom line is we're here to make this work for your site's timeline and medic participation year. So you can obviously feel free to reach out to anyone on the coordinating team if you have any questions about how that's going to look for your particular site. So we're happy to take any questions now. If questions come up after today regarding this, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, Katie, or anyone on the Pete's readiness team. And then, yeah, we look forward to kind of supporting all of you through this assessment period.